At the Cleveland Ministry Collective, we believe local ministries deserve to be heard. That's why when multiple national Christian media companies moved towards syndication and away from community, we stepped in. And one of the ways we uplift local voices is through the Third Place podcast. Each episode highlights the people and stories shaping ministries in Northeast Ohio. Voices you won't hear on syndicated radio. To learn more about how we at the Cleveland Ministry Collective are working to foster connection, collaboration, and community among Northeast Ohio ministries, go to clevelandministrycollective.org. While you're there, would you prayerfully consider a donation to facilitate a successful launch of this brand new venture Lauren and I are undertaking? Submit your secure and tax-deductible donations now at clevelandministrycollective.org. That's clevelandministrycollective.org. Okay, here's today's episode. This is the Third Place podcast, recording from the JLP CPA sponsored studio. I'm Brian Dolan, and over yonder is Lauren Cuevas.
Glory Over Yonder.
What's that?
It's a song we used to sing at Moody for school. It was the school song.
Glory over yonder.
Yeah.
Did anyone ever say yonder?
Well, when we sang that song, we did.
Okay.
Home is your first place, work is your second place, and this is your third place where the Christian community gathers.
You know, over yonder, where they gather. Now,
God bless the school that
D.L. Moody founded. By the way, side note, have you ever noticed that school songs, high school songs, and even college, like alma mater songs, same melody?
Interesting.
There's only about
Something,
two or three
something
different school songs
surrounded.
where it's like snare drum, ka, and then they'd and like all of them are about the same, right? And then school song, God bless Notre Dame and Princeton. Like all the schools have the same singy-songy thing. Okay, we've resolved that issue. But speaking of school,
may she never squander.
did you actually memorize the Moody alma mater?
To God and something over yonder. Glory over yonder.
We need to bring back
over
yonder. We need to bring that back. Like, you need to, at home,
Start
be like,
using yonder?
hey, Eddie, could you grab me that bowl?
Over yonder?
The one over yonder?
Yeah. Eddie probably knows it more than me because he had to sing it for men's choir, so.
Oh, yeah. Choral people are constantly saying old-timey things like yonder.
So he probably actually knows the song in full.
Well, we'll have to have him join us, and he could sing it.
He is. He's coming in
We'll do a whole episode of just
2
him
weeks.
singing a song about yonder.
He's coming in 2 weeks.
Well, maybe not in 2 weeks for you listening
Oh, it'll
and
be lots of
watching,
weeks for
but
you. But
for us, 2 weeks. Okay,
Yeah.
fun. I
Make
can't
him
wait to
sing.
find out what you call him, your pet
he was
name.
asking me about what you're going to talk about, and I gave him a long list. I was like,
Of
here's...
things he can't say?
No. He said, what's Brian going to talk to me about? I said, oh, here's everything Brian's going to ask you. I already know. And I'm going to see if it's true.
I'm not even sure I know yet, but it's
Yes,
probably all
yes.
correct.
What are you going to ask him?
Well, what does he call you? What do you call him?
You already asked him that.
And he won't answer, only because you won't let him.
No, he answered you on the picnic one. The Wanda Divine episode, he absolutely answered.
He did not answer.
Yes, he did. Yes, you need to go back and listen. Yes, he did.
Wow. Good thing we have archives of ourselves for me to remember what I heard. But no, it's school. So
Talking about school.
you've had the public school experience now. Your
Yep.
oldest child's been in kindergarten for a couple of months.
Yes.
It's a thing. So how are we doing with this?
I mean, he loves it. It's fine. He's, it's actually shocking I haven't gotten a call yet. He's gone to the nurse twice this week, 2 days in a row, and I think he's just learning that he can go do fun other things if he says his stomach hurts.
Yeah. And, they have to call you.
Yeah.
I mean, in the olden days, the nurse was probably smoking a cigarette. Get out of here. I'm sure you're fine, kid.
Yeah, the first day she didn't call me. She was like, he was fine. I just sent him back to class. Just gave him a couple minutes. And then yesterday it happened again. And she's like, he was here yesterday, so I just wanted to call. And I know he has food allergies. Just want to make sure he's okay. And I was like, well, he didn't eat anything this morning that he shouldn't have. He didn't say anything to me. But he does get to help the receptionist when he goes there.
This kid is working the system.
And
you
he
just
also,
wait.
Yeah, I've seen their math curriculum, and he knows this stuff already. He doesn't like crafts. He has an engineer brain, so he just knows math kind of things. And so I'm like, maybe he's bored. And so he's like, I'll go to the office and help.
Answer a few calls.
Yeah.
So, but you're telling me though that
Oh.
it's something about parents now? You think school's for parents?
School is for parents
What does that mean?
because they send home all the stuff. And this week it's penny wars. And so
What does that mean?
each grade like fills their bucket of pennies and you try to fill the other grade's buckets with other coins of other colors, like quarters, nickels, dimes. And that is like against them. That counts against them. So you're trying to win.
So this fun game is get money from your parents?
Yeah, it's a it's like for the PTO or PTA or whatever it's called. It's fundraising. But who has to remember the pennies and the quarters and the nickels? Me.
Well, and who doesn't
has to
carry
remember?
cash? You.
But who has to remember?
Yeah.
I have to put all of these pennies in a Ziploc bag in my son's backpack and then tell him that they're there in the right week. It's for me. School is for me to remember all these things.
Well, and it's also this points to the thing I hate, which is the constant fundraiser machine. Cancel all the fundraisers. Tell me how much to write a check for.
Yeah, we have had 3. This is the 3rd. So we had our
That's outrageous. It's only been a few months.
Yeah, we had our school spirit one where you can buy spirit wear and 15% of whatever goes to the school.
I'm not bothered by spirit wear.
No, that was fine. We did that. And then there was one where on this one specific night, you ordered pizzas from this one specific shop and the funds go back to the school.
Yeah, I might do that if I felt like it.
But
Probably
we
not.
don't eat pizza in my house because my kids are allergic to dairy and eggs. So we didn't do that. So we just made pizzas at home because he kept hearing about pizza night. And I was like, well, we're not ordering pizza because you can't eat it. So we'll just make pizza at home. And then there's this one, the penny wars. But anyways, it's really a test for me. Can I get the pennies in my kid's backpack on the right week? And then...
But wouldn't it be easier for you just to hand them cash for how much do you need? I'm not going to pack up pennies every day. Just tell me. $10 here.
I mean, it's like fun for them as the kids to like, oh, we're like winning. And then whatever the winning grade is gets a pizza party, which my kid can't be a part of. So... and then there was something else.
But they can play games that don't involve my money. Like the whole idea, well, it's fun for the kids. I'm sure it's fun for the kids. Why not, I don't know, put trash in a bucket? One with the you don't have to use my money for your dumb game.
Yeah, but it's just like, it's just for me. School is for me. Can I remember all the things?
Oh, yeah.
There's an app for messaging. Like, so I get all the
PBIS kids or whatever?
No.
What is it?
I don't know. So there's the app where like I get all the messages from the principal or the school district or even his teacher all come through this one app. Well, I get notified last week that they're not sending home report cards. They put their grades on a different app.
Yeah.
So now I have to go find this new app to get like report cards and grades and stuff. Make one app. Make a school app. I'm sure there is one that is messaging and grades. Please.
Yeah, part of this is the helicopter parent has ruined it for the rest of us. No, because there's so many expectations for all this information.
I'm sure.
Like, think about when we were kids. You know the communication you got? There'd be a letter in the mail every semester with your grades in it and
Right.
comments.
Yeah.
And if you got a problem, call the teacher.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, we need every day. We need the pictures. We need all the apps. I need to see every moment. How often was my kid breathing this hour? And
Oh, yeah, that's like the preschool and daycare ones, yeah.
it's crazy. That's where that comes from.
I guess.
Is you need all the app. You need the app for this, the app for that.
Yeah, so now I have like a school messaging app that I have to check. Oh, also, when we signed up for school conferences, it was on this said messaging app.
Yeah.
I went in 15 minutes after the message was sent, because sorry, I was eating dinner because it was 6 o'clock when it was sent. 15 minutes later, I go in to schedule our time for school conferences. All of the spots were taken.
Yeah.
I was like, how quick are these people? I thought I was pretty quick.
Yeah. That's intense.
But then I was like, okay, well, at least I was, sitting with my children during dinner and not looking at my phone every time it pinged.
Yeah. Can you imagine being a teacher on the other end of that?
No.
Again, I think honestly, it's the parents and their unrealistic expectations in some respects that
sure.
causes this kind of intensity. Like, it's not healthy that there were no slots left.
No.
That's not healthy that there was a race of moms and dads
There was a race.
to sign up for kindergarten conferences.
Yes. So then there was a second round for like those who didn't get the first round, and we got one of those. But then she had to cancel because she was sick. So.
Because, see, I remember when my Matthias was in kindergarten, we went to conferences, and I always am kind of like, really? Kindergarten conferences?
I just want to know if he's nice.
Yeah, like, is he well-liked? Is he
Yeah.
respectful? The teacher was so excited. Not that he was doing well in school. He's struggling in reading a little bit. All of our kids did. But he could put his own coat on.
Hey.
The rest of the kids are standing there like lumps.
Zip my jacket.
I don't know how to put this on. She's like, he can put his own jacket on. This is crazy. I go, well, he's the fourth of 5.
He's gotta learn.
So if he wants a coat on, he's going to have to put it on.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then, we had another one where talking to the teacher, and when our kids struggle in reading, the teachers would be all nervous to tell us. And they'd be like, I think they need Title I services.
Oh.
And and they kind of brace themselves for our response. We go, wait, you mean to tell me they're going to get one-on-one help?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. And they're like, what? So we had a teacher say that there was a parent who they were concerned their kid had some that needed to be evaluated for a behavioral issue. You have to be careful as a teacher doing that. The parent had to be escorted out by security
Oh my gosh.
because the teacher dared to insinuate that little Billy might need help. Can you imagine? Not my baby.
He's perfect.
And so as a result of insanity like this, you have to log into like 18 different apps.
Yeah, now it's school for me. It's a test for me to see if I can keep up.
I was so embarrassed one year with our youngest. Like, there was some reason we had to go into like the parent portal for like second grade.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Who cares? And we didn't know how to get in. I had to call the office in like halfway through the year and be like, I need some kind of code. I don't ever look at my son's grades. I'm so embarrassed.
If there's a problem, you'll let me know, I guess,
Is that what you do? I don't want to sound like the worst dad ever. You're not hovering, obviously.
Not really.
So
I feel like if there's a problem, they'll tell me.
well, that's kind of our approach. It's like, I trust the educators are doing their job well. Benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, exactly.
And if there's a problem, let me know. Otherwise, I got stuff to do.
Yeah. We had to go in for like a 504 evaluation because he has a 504 plan. Well, he's eligible for a 504 plan. For
One of my kids had that.
For his allergies. Mm-hmm. And to see if he needs more accommodations than are already there. And so it was like 2 months in, see how is he handling being in the lunchroom or whatever with other kids? Does he need different accommodations?
That's good.
And they were like, oh, he is really good about advocating for himself. He tells everybody, I can't have eggs and dairy. I can't have eggs and dairy.
See, that's
I
a
can't share
win
snacks.
as a parent.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. I said, I don't care. That's all I care about.
That's a win because, again, you don't know how many kids would stand there like a lump and not know how to put a jacket on.
Yeah.
And you've got a son who can advocate for himself. See, Lauren and Eddie should get an award for this.
And yeah, and there's a lot of people in the allergy community that are like, oh, home should be like totally safe. They should be able to go into a cabinet and eat anything they want. There should be, for us, no dairy, no eggs. That's like milk, cheese, sour cream. There should be nothing. No products in your home that are milk. And
that's creating a false environment. Reality.
Exactly. That's what I said. I make Trey ask me at dinner time, is there dairy or eggs in here? Of course, I am never making anything with dairy or eggs for him. I may make it for myself, but if he's eating it, it's never going to have dairy or eggs. But I still make him ask me. Because I'm training him for like the society, for the rest of the world where they aren't catering to him.
Well, and there's also, not to do a little Jesus juke here, but but there is a spiritual reality to, it's not all about you, Trey.
Yeah, that's right.
He can't assume the world will revolve around his allergies.
No, and it doesn't.
And it can't because, there's so many people, right, that assume that you have to adapt to their issue.
Yeah.
So that at the end of the day, you're left with nothing.
Right.
Like kids, here have a rice cake for a birthday because we've got one kid with an allergy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was that mean?
No.
You don't, because they're going to have a pizza party and you're not calling the school to complain.
No.
How dare you? My son can't be involved in your dumb pizza party.
No,
Cancel it.
I've told the teacher and the guidance counselor and the principal at this meeting, just let me know a day or two in advance. I'll bring him something.
Yeah.
Just because he can't have pizza doesn't mean the other kids can't. Just let me know and I'll bring something he can have so he's included. I don't want him to be excluded. I don't want him to sit at a different table. I don't want him to everybody gets cookies and he doesn't, just let me know and I'll bring cookies.
See, Lauren Cuevas,
And
you and Eddie.
I brought a box of cookies and the teacher has it in her cabinet. And she got he had some the other day because some kid brought cupcakes or whatever for his birthday.
See, you guys are almost throwback parents. You're just chill. You're not hovering. Like, it's great. You're teaching your kid to self-advocate, which, again, I think is one of the most important skills for any kid.
Yeah, he has to learn to advocate for himself.
Like with our older kids, we'll say, they come home and they say they have this issue with a kid or a teacher. We'll be like, we ask them questions and we go, if you need our help, we'll be glad to get involved. Let me know.
Yeah.
And usually they choose not to have us get involved.
Yeah, they want to
We've only
solve it
gotten
themselves.
involved like once or twice, and it was time.
Yeah.
But the rest of the time, they have to self-advocate.
Yep.
Way to go, team us.
That's all I care about.
You're sick. I'm going to give you an actual high five. So we're going to get now to our conversation. You were gone for this one.
Yes.
But because you were sick.
Yeah, it was last week and I'm ill.
Yeah, and it wasn't even a man cold, and it was still difficult. Imagine how bad it is for guys.
I had Kleenex stuck up my nose.
That would have been fun. No, I had some wonderful listeners from Crew.
Yeah.
And I was able to finally ask some questions about college life that I think is super important and a lot of people ignore. I think a lot of Christians have a wrong view of higher education, particularly of public higher education. And we get into that plus a ton more. So let's listen to that discussion with our friends from Crew right now. Lauren and I want to take a brief moment before we continue today's episode to thank our sponsors. First of all, did you know I have a brand new morning show? That's right. It's called Uplifted Mornings with Brian. And our sponsor is Uplifted Stream from KHCB Media Group. We're so grateful for their sponsorship and their attention to my new morning show. Check it out weekdays from 6 to 8 a.m. Central, 7 to 9 Eastern. We have a lot of music, worship music. We've got scripture. I have devotional thoughts, try to share some funny stories, dad jokes, Bible quizzes, things like that. For more information how you can listen to my new morning show on the Uplifted Stream, just go to upliftedstream.org. That's upliftedstream.org, or just download the KHCB mobile app. We also want to thank our sponsor, JLP CPAs. If you're a small business owner, you already wear dozens of hats. You don't want to have to worry about things like taxes, payroll, financial reporting, budgets, balance sheets, all those kinds of things. Let our friends at JLP CPAs take care of that for you. They're a firm focused on small businesses. They're a local Northeast Ohio company. And you ought to check them out so that you can focus on what you're good at in your small business. For more information, go to jlpcpas.com. Again, jlpcpas.com. And finally, we'd like to thank our friend David Safransky and Edgewater Investment Group for being a sponsor of today's episode. Have your finances been overwhelming? Are you stressed about your future? You should talk to Dave and his team at Edgewater Investment Group. They'll help you with things like budgeting, retirement, investing, and they'll be honest and straightforward. So you want more information about how you can get connected and get their help with your future financially? Go to edgewaterig.com. Again, that's edgewaterig.com. Thanks again to our sponsors, and now we'll keep going with today's episode. Joining us on the Third Place podcast are our brand new friends, first-time guests. We have Lisa Wise and Eric St. Jean from Crew.
Yep.
Yay, I got it right.
You nailed it.
It's our first guest that's a saint, so that's really kind of a big deal.
Yeah. Well, I just need to represent now. All the pressure's on me. So thanks for saying that. So,
And it's and for clarity, it's not SAINT.
no.
You are like literally saint, like it's like a title almost.
Yes.
ST.
Like doctor, but for your last name.
Right. So it actually is like a title. Way to go. You did it.
Yeah. Someone in my past did something amazing, and now I get all the credit. So
See? And you're here partially because, Lisa, you reached out to us. Tell me why you reached. I love that you reached out because I want more people working in ministry in Northeast Ohio, Western Pennsylvania, West Virginia to reach out to us. What's the background? Why did you think to reach out to me? Were you a listener of the old show or the? I don't remember the details.
I had been a Moody listener for a long time. Oh. In recent years, I had just stopped listening to radio and switched to podcasts.
Like lots of people. Yeah.
But I had heard what happened by a friend, actually, because their middle school kid drinks out of a Mornings with Brian mug.
Oh, they do, really.
And I was over for dinner, and I was like, what's up with your son's Mornings with Brian mug? And they're like, oh, he loves Brian.
Oh, how fun is that?
Yeah, he's like he would listen to you every morning as
Really?
he got ready for school. Yeah, it was like his thing.
That's
and
so
so
sweet.
they were telling me how their family was so sad that what happened, and so I don't know. I just was really sad to hear about it, and so I just reached out because I'm from Northeast Ohio and we work in Northeast Ohio Ministries, and yeah, I don't know.
Well, and so for those who don't know, I'm sure people know now that you were Campus Crusade for Christ.
Yes.
Now, and you didn't change it, obviously.
Right, not us personally. And we still are globally. Globally, it's still Campus Crusade for Christ International. But in the U.S.,
it's just Cru.
Just Cru.
And you're working on campuses. How many different campuses are you working on now, the two of you?
Well...
Or are you stationed at one, or stationed, it sounds like you're in the military?
Yeah.
St. John, St. Jean.
It's similar.
Yeah, so I'm at Kent State and also Mount Union. Lisa's at Mount Union.
Yeah. So, and then I work in a regional missions director role.
Because you're like a big boss. You're like a regional boss. It's pretty awesome.
I guess so.
So you better behave today. Your boss is here.
I know. This is scary. Really scary.
I'm actually his boss's boss.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But on Tuesdays...
Safe distance. So there's...
But on Tuesdays, we're peers. On Tuesdays, I put a different hat on.
And you're working side by side.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
So in my role... most of the week, it's overseeing our campus ministries throughout Ohio, Western Pennsylvania, and West Virginia.
That's a big territory.
Yeah, it's close to 1 million college students, over 150 campuses. And we have 10 teams in that area.
Do you have to visit every of the 150?
No. So I visit our team. So we have 10 local field teams. So I work with our team leaders of those local teams.
Gotcha.
And we have 16 team leaders right now. So coaching those team leaders. So the team leader of the Kent State team and the team leader of the Cleveland team for Northeast Ohio. But I love working with college students. So on Tuesdays, I go to Mount Union.
Which is 10 minutes away from your house.
Which is 10 minutes from my house.
Oh, very good. So your boss's boss is just right around the corner.
Yeah.
So I wanted a day where I could just go on campus and be with students. And so on Tuesdays, Eric and I are at Mount Union together.
Well, I mean, word on the street from Eric is that you're the world's best boss. I feel like there must be a mug in your office.
Boss.
Well, yeah. So I'm trying to think of the Office reference. It's not Michael Scott. She's David, what's his name?
Oh, yes.
Are you Office fans?
Yes, but I forget his last name.
Yeah, it's gone. We're going to both think of it after we're done recording today.
Yeah.
But that's her. And he was great. So somebody heard you say you love working with college students, and they're just like, why? College student, 19, 20, 21-year-olds think they know everything, but they really don't. What do you love about working with college kids?
Oh, gosh. I love the 18 to 22-year-old range because I feel they're away from home. So I feel like they're kind of coming into their own a little bit. They're away from parents. They're figuring out, what do I actually believe? What do I believe about myself? Who am I? What do I believe about the world? So I just feel like it's a really, inquisitive age. So I don't know. I've been doing it for 20 years, and I feel like I love it now more than I ever have.
Yeah.
Well, and I would say, at least for me, it was a pivotal time in my faith journey. Mm-hmm. Because especially, I think if you're raised in a Christian home, you're inheriting a faith, right? But that's not how salvation works. And so when you go to college, you really have to figure out, do I actually believe this? I mean, is my experience pretty common, would you say?
Yeah, I would say, yeah. I mean, it was mine. That's why I love working with students, because I, like you, was a student and came in with a lot of questions, not really sure where to find answers, connected with people who helped me to ask, why do I believe this? What do I believe? What does it look like to know Jesus, walk with Jesus? And all of that happening in this place that is this amplification of culture and it's a formative time in your life. So I think it's, yeah. Also, what was the word you used?
Inquisitive.
Inquisitive. Yeah. I think there's just a lot of like searching that happens on a campus. So it's a really, right now I see it as a really strategic place to be there and have conversations with people, build relationships with people about faith.
Yeah, so can you think of a story of a kid that stands out in your mind? You don't have to use their name, obviously, but just kind of illustrate this idea that it's a time where people are inquisitive and searching out their faith.
Yeah.
You have to fight
You got
over it.
one?
He's yielding to his boss's boss.
No, go for it.
Yeah. We met a student a couple years ago at Mount Union. We walked up right after there was a student organization fair. And afterward, we were doing this, you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So afterward, we were going to this pavilion, kind of like an after party. And we walk up, and there was a student there with a couple friends. And she said, we explained, we're crew. We're here to, do this party, get to know people, share more about our ministry. And she says something like, oh, well, I guess I found you. Like, I was thinking about trying to find you. And then I said something like, well, actually, I think we found you. We're coming to you. That's what this is we want to be in your backyard and build relationships with you. And then she started getting involved. She came from a faith background, but kind of wanted to go to college to get away from, I think, some of her friends. And so she was kind of up in the air about like what she believed. I think she did believe, would you say?
Yeah, although it was after because we do a fall retreat, which is coming up in a couple weeks. And it was really after our fall retreat, she came back. I remember I met with her and she was like, something happened. Like that. So, it's one of those like either a receive Christ or a come back to Christ. And now she's been one of our student leaders. She's a junior. She's been one of our student leaders the last 2 years. And she is a people gatherer.
Yeah, and now she would say, like, I want to do what was done for me. Yeah. So she's doing that with other people. She was a preview guide. She has a lot of influence with especially freshmen on campus.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool to see not only what she experienced, but now she's also helping other people experience the same thing.
Yeah.
When you get students like her coming to you who are inquisitive or searching, like what are the questions you're hearing most often, like right now, when someone's coming to you with questions about faith? Or can you not narrow that down?
Yeah, I think categorically, I used to hear questions about, is this true? Why is this true? Can you prove that it's true? And the last...
Like more of the apologetics.
Yeah. And like the last 10, 15 years, I feel like the questions now are more about, does it work? Like, what does this look like?
Wow.
Can it really change my life? Can Jesus really offer something that would change my anxiety, would change the fear that I'm experiencing? So I think a lot of the questions categorically are about, does this work? Almost like more ethical versus like theological apologetic questions.
And I just find that fascinating because for so many years, apologetics ruled the day. I remember going to like little classes, and like we were all just convinced that if we just have all the proofs, we're just going to convince people into the kingdom. And I feel like they have value when you're a believer to better understand why we believe what we believe.
Yeah.
But I feel like their value is almost gone in terms of engaging with young people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've had people say, like, you can probably convince me that this is true. In fact, it sounds like it probably is true. I just don't care. And so helping people care
the apathy.
or connecting what we're saying to like the reality of the world, the reality of life on campus, the reality of things on the inside. So I think I don't know, I probably stole this. That's what we do in ministry is, you hear something you like, you steal it, and then...
That's right. Yeah.
And then you forget who said it. So
oh, absolutely. I do it all the time.
So now it's Eric St. Jean.
Now it's, But
I once said...
I started saying, like, instead of apologetic, it feels more like we're in the business of apologetics, like ethics at the end.
Oh, I like that.
It's like the apologetic is the... like things like community and things like, can this really change my life and change the campus and change the world? And how does this get worked out? And is this real? Not, is it true necessarily? And certainly apologetics and the truthfulness of what we believe, that's important for sure. But I feel like it's less convincing for someone coming in or someone exploring. I feel like being in a community where they see changed lives, that's way more compelling than if you read a book that has good arguments.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the orthodoxy versus the orthopraxy.
Yeah.
Like this, I think it's this, like our generation, I think was more into like, is it true?
Yeah.
This Gen Z is different. Like in a good way. Like I get excited about working with them. I don't know if part of it is like they've seen people in the Christian world that have all the right answers, but their life says something else.
And I think that's an epidemic at the moment. If that's the right term. You see it all the time, right? People who profess Christ but are just mean. And they argue and they're rude and they're
Or
discriminatory or
like
whatever you want to call it.
Fallen pastors or fallen leaders or, like that kind of can create a crisis of faith for them. So I think it's more the like, how does this play out in our lives practically?
And see, for those of us who were raised on apologetics and all the questions, answers, it can feel paralyzing to hear you say this because it's like, I don't know how to do that. Like, how do you take somebody who says it might be true, but I don't care, or prove to me this has value?
Yeah.
What do you even start with that?
Right.
Because it'll frustrate people our age and older. They'll get irritated. It's like, what do you mean? If it's true, why don't you just believe it?
What's the right answer? Yeah.
What do you do with it? I mean, how do you even begin that?
Yeah, I think maybe some ways it is more simple than we might think. Like just building relationships, asking questions, spending time with people, getting to know someone, where they're coming from, why they think what they think. So I think community is a big part of someone beginning to open up to Jesus. We've had a lot of people start coming to Crew. They feel like it's a place they belong. It's people they can connect with. They have friendship. And then later down the road, they're like, oh yeah, I think I believe Jesus now. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think
it's real fellowship.
Yeah.
Like real. Yeah. I also think something about this generation where COVID happened because they're like, COVID would have hit for them when they were like 15, 16. Yeah. So it just looks different than it did for us where it hit us as adults. So I think it has changed them in some ways where they want like life on life community. Like I think they know it's not in my screen.
Yeah.
Like even though they
do.
might be attached to their screens, they know that's not where relationships, that's not where connection like there's a deep desire for connection with this generation.
I know more Gen Z students who have either screen limits or they kind of black out, what is it, black and white, their screen, gray gray mode.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't do it.
Like they take the color
there's
off.
more Gen Z.
Yeah,
because it's less addictive if it's black, if it's gray.
Okay.
Yeah, but I see more students doing things like that, setting time limits on social media, or even just deleting social media altogether, than people my own age, because they know like this is keeping me from what I need. This is, and certainly they do still struggle with it, but I do feel like connection. I mean, we changed the name of our meeting. We call it Crew Connect now, because through COVID we learned people don't need more content; they need connection. And so our job now is we got to find ways to connect them. And, if it has to be on a screen, sure, like let's do that. But on campus, like we just feel like the most important thing is creating connections. And it's the context of the relationship then that we're able to share the gospel and people experience Jesus and begin to open up and be vulnerable. And
even our tagline that we train our student, like at our weekly meetings or whatever, when they explain this is who Crew is to students, it's that we're a caring community, passionate about connecting the campus to Jesus. So even that connection, it's like, we want to connect you to Jesus. We want to connect the whole campus to Jesus and connect you to each other. So it's that connection piece.
Well, I would argue that actually is going to be good for the church, this shift away from apologetics. Now, again, I'm not saying apologetics don't matter. I know you aren't either.
Absolutely.
But I think what we're seeing is Xers and boomers, and I'm an Xer, very, very young Xer, very, very young. You're probably a
You're on the
millennial. How old are you?
line.
I'm a saint. We've already talked
Yeah,
about
we have
this.
established this. Yeah.
42. I think I'm millennial.
You're on. Oh yeah, you're on the.
Yeah, you are, because I'm 46, and I'm the very youngest you can be. If
Yeah.
Lauren were here, she'd be like throwing up probably. But anyway,
Because she's sick.
exactly. Or because she's overwhelmed with how profound my statement was.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I see us suffering so much with people who know a lot but aren't living transformed lives.
Yes.
A lot of my ministry life has been two Christians trying to remind them that actually, what if Jesus was serious when he asked us to actually transform how we think and how we act? Because I think that's what's driving Gen Z nuts. And what I'm hearing you say is that a lot of us know all the things. But as a friend of ours, Pastor Tanks, was here a while ago, he said there's great Bible teaching in a lot of churches, but he can't convince people to stop lying.
Yeah.
It's like
Wait, was he the one
fundamental.
talking about biblical literacy?
Yes.
Okay, I was just listening to that
Oh,
on the way
fun.
here. I was going to
Thank
tell
you.
him about it because what he was talking about, I was like, yes, that.
And he has a very
it's-
young congregation.
Because he was talking about it's not about more biblical literacy; it's about discipleship.
It totally, and he's absolutely
Yeah.
right, and his ministry is thriving because of that. Perhaps it's even just how much information's available. People are just like, yeah, whatever, information. I don't want all that.
Yeah.
But I don't know that us older folks know how to. I mean, you all do, but I don't know if we know how to do the relational, vulnerable, actually live out our faith bit. This will be good for the church, and you are on the front lines of it. Do you have a hard time communicating with dare I say donors on this front, where it's like we're not just sitting there teaching a class to the kids about who Jesus is and what substitutionary atonement is or something? Because they probably want that, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of them, I love our partners.
I'm not asking to badmouth your donors.
Yeah, I mean, I think what I've experienced is they get really excited when we tell stories about changed lives, when we talk about
Yeah.
at Mount Union, the end of last year, we outgrew what was one of the largest academic rooms on campus.
Oh.
And so, you in your prayer letter, you had a picture of like, this was 3 years ago, this was last year, this is this
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
And it's like doubling in
It
size
like doubled
each year.
every because we basically it was like a relaunch after COVID.
Yeah.
Like a lot of things.
Yeah, and so we outgrew this what we thought was a big room, and so this year we decided let's reserve 2 rooms, and we'll figure out a way to do the same thing in two rooms simultaneously.
Wow, that's a good problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, except the 2 rooms are not big enough, and so week 1 we had the 2 rooms full and the hallway. So when we're
They're
telling
like,
stories
what,
to
over
our
80 students or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
yeah,
And for clarity's sake, it's not the come and watch a lecture about substitutionary atonement.
no, we don't.
This
We
has
don't
nothing
even
to
give
do with
talks.
that.
Yeah, at
You don't
Mount
give
Union,
talks.
it's come and sit at a table and have a discussion. So it's table
love it.
discussions, and then at Kent we changed our talks. We shrunk our talks, and we made more time for discussion. And so we made discussion a big part of what we do. And we also do things like connect questions, which are kind of like icebreakers, but we try to make them not awkward, kind of like youth group vibe.
You're not doing trust falls and things like
No.
that. No, okay.
Yeah,
It's probably against the rules at the university anyway.
it's hazing. No, I don't.
It probably is.
It probably is.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we just saw, and we would hear people say, like, I love. What was the thing that one of our students said? Like, I love that I can, like, come and be a part of the conversation
Yeah.
and not just get talked to.
Because we've offered, like, do you want to go to like a kind of a more traditional weekly meeting where we have like worship and a talk and like, no. We really like this format. I'm like, okay.
And see, this doesn't surprise me at all. I taught social studies for many years, and so my undergraduate career was a lot of social science courses. And the best way to teach history, for example, or political science is everybody has a common reading, but most of the class is discussion.
Yeah.
It's basic Socratic method. It's like higher education at its core ought to be about discussion. That's how you learn. I remember when I was first exposed to it, leaving a class going, I can't believe I'm paying for this. This is ridiculous. When is this person going to teach me something?
Right.
Not realizing how much I actually was soaking up from discussion.
Yep.
Yeah,
And now, tied to that, like, I've been mystified over the years, and maybe you can correct me on this, because I'm open to being wrong on this. But I actually had a great undergraduate experience at a public university. I had a great experience. I didn't have anyone ever try to corner me and say, I'll fail you if you don't deny Jesus. And like all this melodrama you see in Christian, like creative dramas. People look at me sideways when I say, no, I had a great time at public university and I'd love for my kids to do that. How much of that is reality? How much of it is Brian just had a unique experience?
No, for one, I think every university is different.
Sure.
Like at Mount Union, they are so welcoming to us. It's incredible. Like we've met, they instituted a new president last year. He'll be like, hey, is crew getting any love? How's it going?
In a public university.
Yeah. They're just so, we have a good relationship with the chaplain. Because Mount Union is like traditionally Methodist university, but it's
All those schools have lost all of their theology. They're not doing that. Yeah.
I don't know. What do you feel like Kent State? Kent State's definitely different than Mount.
Kent, what's interesting about Kent is that the biggest rub, I think, is safety, because that is a reality now. So when we go into a dorm, a residence hall for like a small group Bible study, they're a lot more strict on who has access to some of those spaces. But it's not because we're Christians and we believe what we believe and we want to share that with others. It's they want to protect the people who live there.
Well, that seems like it makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and we want to be like, we want to work with the university because that is a reality of the modern world. I did not experience much of a negative environment like toward my faith or like toward me seeking out growing in my faith at Kent State. There's maybe a handful, but I would say in large part, I mean, one of the slogans is like, you belong, and included in that are Christians. So they're very open to Christians being on the campus. We've been there since the 70s, not me personally, but it's
Baby Eric was there ministering.
Yeah, it's
Although no, you were born in the 80s. If you're 4,
80s,
oh wow,
yeah,
gosh,
80s kid.
I'm not going to ask Lisa how old she is. That's not polite to do that. She's probably 38 or something.
Yeah, good guess. Yeah.
Yeah, good. So how often do you have students coming to you? Because Lisa, you're 150 universities, or how often do you hear stories of a kid going, oh my gosh, I need to talk to you. My professor just in front of the whole class told me to deny Jesus. How often are you getting this?
Not often.
Yeah. I don't, and that's where,
because this is what people think is happening.
I know. So like when I have a lot of churches that support me, which is great because then I get to visit local churches, and I always have people come up and be like, it's so helpful to hear the good thing. And so I'm always like, there are good things happening on university campuses.
Yes.
I know that's not what you're hearing. That's why I want you to hear. And there's really good things.
That drives me crazy. There's great things happening.
There's really good things. So like that, I think that for whatever reason might get highlighted in the news, but that is not the normal experience. I feel like, at least in this, again, you got to go different parts of the U.S. We're in the Midwest. We're in Ohio, Western Pennsylvania, West Virginia. So I can only speak for like what we're seeing in this part of the U.S., which is not that. And I mean, and our staff are also trained, like we work to try to work well with universities, and so we're trying to befriend or
Yeah, and I also had the experience, right, where in the social sciences, my professors wanted me to think, and they want to present ideas to me, and they'll challenge me to think, but they could care less what I believe. Like, they don't care. I had a number of situations, I won't bore you with all the details, but I'd have professors give controversial topics, or one of them was having to do with the final paper in a Holocaust class was a book called The Sunflower, that gave people a fictitious scenario of, would you forgive this Nazi? Okay.
Wow.
And only one person in the book forgave the Nazi. It was the evangelical Christian.
Right.
Okay. And my final paper was I agreed with that guy. I got an A on it.
Wow. Yeah.
And because the professor didn't care what I thought. He cared that I thought.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
wanted you to critical thinking.
And this is where I think Christian families and churches fail a little bit, in that what we do is we create a bubble for our kids where we don't expose them to other ideas. And then we think that being exposed to other ideas is scary. I don't think it's scary because we have the best idea. You know what I mean? It's like ours will stand the test of time because it has stood the test of time.
Yeah.
I mean, I just spewed for a while. So to what extent is my thinking on that what you experience with students and universities?
Yeah, my first thought was I do think young people, Gen Z, I think when they get asked a question, sometimes it feels like they are being questioned. Like the difference being
in a negative way.
Yeah, like oh my gosh, like how dare you like make me think about this, or you're against me, or like because I think resilience or being quick to fear what other people think, or maybe it's cancel culture. Have you experienced this? Like I think being challenged might be hard for young people for cultural reasons that I don't fully understand, but I think that can be hard when people get pushed, and I think maybe misinterpreted. Instead of it being, I want you to think, I am challenging your thoughts, I'm disagreeing with your thoughts are not valid here. I think it's rare, at least in my experience. I've not heard many students say, I tried to talk about this with my professor and they just put me on blast, or they shut me down, or I got a bad grade. So I'm sure that happens, but I have not heard many people say that.
Yeah. And we also want to be outreaching to the faculty on campus.
Mm-hmm.
So
How does that go?
Like one of our kind of taglines is the whole campus to the whole world. The idea that we're not just thinking about students, we're thinking about the whole campus. So Crew also has, we don't specifically work with the faculty, but we do have a faculty ministry called Faculty Commons. And so they specifically are working with staff and faculty on campuses. And so like one of the things that we've talked about doing at one of our campuses is called Thank a Prof. So it's kind of an outreach with students, but it's the idea of like just getting students to write their professors thank you notes. Like just as a way of we're Crew, we're on campus, and we see you and we want to bless you.
And they never get thank you notes. So it's got to just rock their world. I bet they just love it.
Right.
So you have professors that will participate in this. I mean, there's
we have
someone is like veering off the road hearing this. What? Professors?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at Kent State, there was a...
Oh, yeah. A lot at Kent.
It's interesting. For years and years, I'm friends with a professor, and for years he tried to start this prayer group, this faculty prayer group, and he would have a handful of people, but it never really kind of caught on. And then after COVID, everybody, maybe most especially the professors, learned that they can connect with other people virtually. And so this prayer group started. This was a couple years ago. And I think the second year they had over 60 faculty and staff who were connected to this group. And every Friday for about 20 minutes, they would meet and pray for the campus, pray for each other.
Wow.
And then once a month they would do, or once a semester they would do something in person. But yeah, I mean, it's not a small number. And they were like, why did this work? And I think because of some of what COVID forced them to learn how to do, like doing virtual stuff. It just, and all of it, I think also too, it allowed professors some anonymity to be able to like log on from a phone or a computer. They're busy, they're super busy. And so, they didn't have to like go somewhere. They could just pause what they were doing and jump on a computer for 20-minute prayer time. So that really took off. And there's a couple professors leading the charge at Kent with that. So even among the faculty and staff, God is doing things. And I've heard, because I've gone to, they do like a luncheon once a semester. I've gone to that just to listen, to be a fly in the wall. And I've heard people say like, I was scared to like tell people about what I believed on campus. And then when I got connected to this group, it gave me courage. I didn't feel alone. And now professors, faculty, and staff, they're more open about what they believe, and they're more connected with each other. But it's because of things like Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
That's so great. And I'm so glad you guys are here for a lot of reasons. But I love that we're dispelling some of these myths about secular universities being basically dens of like atheist vampires trying to kill our children or whatever it is. I mean, the wonderful things can be happening there and are happening there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's your advice to a Christian parent if their kid is thinking about a public university? Because there are some Christian families that will only look at Christian schools.
Totally.
Right.
Totally.
So should they be scared? Are there cautions you give people? What do you say?
Yeah, I would say as long as you stay outside in the daylight and because the atheist vampires they only come out at night.
Yeah, and
So you
carry some
gotta-
garlic.
Yeah, there's things you can do.
That's so. No, I'm totally. Yeah, it's good advice. Good advice.
You can cut that.
We're not cutting that. No, we're not cutting that because there are far too many people who demonize atheists. Where I know a lot of really nice
Yeah.
atheists actually, who are really kind people.
Yeah.
When I would. That's why we're on campuses like Kent State, is we want to give not just the Christians opportunities to grow in their faith. We want to be able to share the gospel with everybody, the whole campus, people far from God, people who didn't grow up with any spiritual background. So I do think one of the best ways to grow in your faith is to be in those kinds of environments, not because it tests you, but because it's an opportunity to be a witness. I do think it can be a bit of a better place to grow than if you're just around people who think like you and act
Yes.
like you. Then it becomes kind of just the air you breathe, and then you don't even really think much about how you're living and why you're saying and doing what you're saying and doing. So I do think the contrast helps people to grow if they're coming in with a spiritual background. I think it's an opportunity to share Jesus with people far from God. And I do think there are communities that are incredibly supportive, like Crew, and there's others too, that can really be a bit of a greenhouse. And yeah, we see students coming in from Christian backgrounds, Christian homes, Christian schools, and they really grow a ton in their faith. We also see the opposite. We also see people coming in with that background, and it's an opportunity to try things they've never tried before, and it gets
Yeah.
kind of hard for them.
Yeah.
That certainly is possible, but I think I think that probably started before college, if that it becomes the outcome, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Well,
Yeah.
and it even makes me think, have you seen a sort of parenting recipe that creates a healthy Christian college student?
I mean, I think of this one girl that came and she's like, I promised my mom I would get out of my dorm room. So I was like, good for you. So, I mean, I have seen some parents where and I hear from, their students.
You probably hear a lot from
my
students.
my parents told me to get out and meet people, and so that's what I'm doing. Here I am. I'm out of my dorm room.
So not the be careful, they're out to get you kind of.
Right. Well, and her parents knew about Crew and encouraged her to find us. And so there's that. I think encouraging your children to find a Christian community. Or because of social media, there's actually a lot of easy ways to get connected over the summer before they ever get there. And
Yeah.
I have people come to me all the time like, hey, can you get my son or daughter connected to Crew at they're going to Ohio State, or they're going to OU, or they're going to Cincinnati, or they're going to, and so we can try to get them connected before they ever show up on campus in the fall.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And you asked about
I
is
like that.
there
Yeah.
a recipe or formula, and there's not one that works for everybody for sure. But I do think exposure to what it looks like. I mean, we changed the way we do social media. We used to use social media, and this is more my generation. I used to use it like marketing. This is a way to promote our stuff. Let's design some professional graphics, and that's going to be what attracts people. And then we gave our social media over to students, and they started posting things like these weird, I don't even know, like they take pictures like from up
Random.
here,
Yeah.
and it makes people look really
Oh,
distorted.
my kids
and-
have done that to me,
Yeah.
and they think
Yeah.
it's really funny.
Yeah.
Makes your forehead look.
Yeah, like you have a giant forehead.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't get that. But they started showing pictures. They started on our social media, which is at Kent Crew. They started showing pictures of students, real people doing things that everybody does. And we started doing takeovers where a student would just take pictures throughout the day. I'm at the gym, I'm at class, I'm getting food, I'm reading this book. Oops, I fell asleep in class. And
I
it's
love
just
it.
real life.
It's relational.
Yeah.
And it's become less like a billboard and more like a window where people can look in and see like, oh, they're like me. And so we started the last couple years, we've started hearing people say, because whenever someone new would show up, I would ask, how'd you hear about Crew? And I started hearing people, like it became a thing. Like we, as a team, we started saying, I'm hearing this. Are you hearing this? People are saying, I've followed Crew for like a year. And then finally something happened in my life, or finally I decided maybe I should check this out in person. So from a distance, I think a safe distance, people follow things like Kent Crew, Mount Crew, other ministries. They follow from a safe distance. And then when they start seeing people who look like them doing real things, they feel comfortable to come and check it out.
Yeah.
So I think high schoolers.
I've heard that at Mount Union too. Like, I've followed your Instagram for the last year. I just finally came.
So it was almost a 1 year long test for Crew to see, are they going to start like doing something I don't like? Are they going to be weird?
Yeah.
Are they safe?
Yeah. We even called it, I forget exactly. I think it was follower, friend, family. So follow from safe distance. Hopefully one day we become friend in person, and then as a friend share the gospel and we become family. So that's kind of our.
It's the long game. It's relational.
You guys have been forced, I think, to be on the front lines of change, constantly changing.
Yeah. When you work with college students, yeah.
Yeah, but
You
so
have
many
to.
Christians are resistant to it, but you guys seem like to think it's fun.
I guess so. We've been doing it for 20 years.
You don't have a choice, right? I mean,
Yeah,
We're still in
kind of stuck.
yeah, and I have to make sure I say that people who work for Crew are self-supported, right?
Yes.
And so for someone who doesn't know what that means, can you explain what that means? And then tell people how they can support maybe you at Kent, you and all of the region, or what, like you all need support to continue doing this important ministry.
Yeah. So there's no central funding that Crew has for their local staff like us. And so we build our own teams of like ministry partners who give and pray on a regular basis.
You're like missionaries, essentially.
Yes.
That you raise your own
Yes,
support.
local missionaries. Yeah.
And that's hard work to do. And so I'm certain you have either new folks who need that support or you all need it. Is there like, where do you go if you're thinking about if someone's watching this or listening and wants to support you all in the work you're doing in our community?
Sure. There's a couple give.crew.org. If you go to give.crew.org, and then if you want to support us individually, you would type in our names, Lisa Wise or Eric St. Jean. The other options is we also raise money like for the local ministry. So if you want to support like what the Kent and Mount Union ministry is doing, you could put in Kent State University and support that ministry. That's like for the ministry operations of what we're doing at Kent State and Mount Union. Provides a lot of snacks.
Yeah, and hey, that's how you get people to show up. I show up for snacks. Are you kidding me?
Chick-fil-A or Cane's.
Oh, wow.
Cane's.
Yeah, the kids love Cane's.
Yeah,
My older
yeah.
kids are obsessed with it. I'm like,
provide Cane's at a weekly meeting and they'll show up.
Yeah, that's a fun conversation. Just to throw it out there. Hey,
Cane's or
I
Chick-fil-A.
like Cane's better. Do you like Chick-fil-A? What's better? And then get them to go back and forth on.
Yeah. Or the other one, because we also have Crew in Cleveland. So if you go to give.crew.org and you want to support that, you would type in Cleveland Metro and you would be able to get there. We're at John Carroll, Baldwin Wallace, and Case Western up in Cleveland right now.
yeah, and I love that people are hearing now, from us at least, that it's fertile ground for the gospel.
Oh, yeah.
And
So
that
fertile.
we don't need to be scared at or angry at universities. It's actually a great place to be the church.
Yes.
And I think perhaps we can, instead of being so upset with universities, I think we can take our friends at Crew and get a model for what it could be like to actually be a better witness to our communities that are not universities, just actually neighbors and cities and municipalities and such. So you guys are doing such great work. And I'm so glad you reached out.
I love following Barna Research.
Barna's great.
And they have kind of renamed Gen Z as the open generation.
I haven't seen, is this new? Or am I just totally asleep at the wheel here?
They have a whole
I believe
thing.
you.
They have a whole thing on like the open generation.
I love it.
And why they're considered the open, like there's a spiritual resurgence. Like now on one hand, they're open to everything, but it also means they're open to the God. So I think we are positioned right now to see like one of our most fruitful. I just feel like we're in a very fertile window. And I don't know how long that window's going to last. But I think for me, I'm like, let's take advantage of it as long as it's there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I tell you what, raising your own support is no joke. It is really hard to do. If you've never done it, the idea that you have to raise your own salary is a big deal. So please be generous with our friends at Crew. These folks spend all their time trying to do the ministry. They shouldn't have to spend much time doing the fundraising. You want to be working with actual college students, not begging for money. So I'll do it. Would you support these people? Goodness gracious. Crew's doing great work in our campuses, and we really need your help to get that connected. And we'll be sure to put some stuff in show notes so people can find
Thanks.
you. But
Thanks.
Again, Eric St. Jean,
Got it.
the first saint on the show. It's a
Yes.
big moment for us.
You've done it. You found me.
We've arrived. Yes, the first Ohio saint,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. I'll take it. So.
And
Thanks,
Lisa
Jesus.
Wise, spelled with 2 S's and a Y.
Yes. Yep. But pronounced like wise. Wise.
Yeah.
The wise one.
And I'm so glad you reached out. Thank you for
Yeah.
doing that. It's been a great conversation. I'm sure we'll have you back.
Oh,
Great.
thanks.
All right. And if you want to reach out to us, go to stainedglass-media.com, stainedglass-media.com. Don't forget, Lauren and I also have our own nonprofit that we're just launching called the Cleveland Ministry Collective, where we want to use this podcast and other ways to help lift up and platform ministries in our community that kind of lost some of that platform when local radio was demolished by some big media companies. So consider going to clevelandministrycollective.org for more on that. And with that, that'll do it for today's episode of the Third Place Podcast. Hey, before you go, don't forget, this episode was made possible through our brand new nonprofit, the Cleveland Ministry Collective. If you want to support our efforts to connect and uplift Northeast Ohio ministries, would you consider a tax-deductible donation? We could really use your help launching our new ministry. Give today at clevelandministrycollective.org. That's clevelandministrycollective.org. Talk to you next time.